10 most dangerous cities 2022 and safest too.
Welcome back to another episode.
God, I hate how he talk.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this video, we cover the 10 most dangerous cities of 2022.
What is that, Ford Stadium?
As we all know, since 2020, it seems like all cities have gotten worse. 2019 was America's safest year in decades, but since then, it's been all bad. Some say that it was EDD that contributed, and others say that it was the lack of in-person schooling. Regardless, the hope was that 2020...
Damn, it gotta be like LA, Chicago for sure. What else? I don't even know. St. Louis, out of St. Louis, dangerous. Where the fuck young boy from? Baton Rouge.
2022 would turn the corner in America. People went back to work, schools opened up, and the economy was back in shape. Kind of. Well, as all of the official numbers roll in, it's evident that overall things have gotten better. However, there are some exceptions. For example, states like Oregon and Louisiana saw their worst years to date. Meanwhile, in states like Minnesota and California, crime is all the way down. Now, before we get into the list, let me break down the criteria. For this video, we're focusing on homicide rates only because that's the epitome of danger. If a city has a lot of homicides, trust me, there's a lot of other things going on as well. So what is a homicide rate? I wish I didn't have to explain this, but here we are. It's the total number divided by the population times 100. This way the rate is proportional. Total number
of homicides divided by population times 100.
Divided by the population times 100. This way the rate is proportional to the population.
So basically, if there's hella homicides in like a place like New York, it's supposed to have a lot of homicides because there's hella people there. So it's going by like, okay.
When you see that Chicago has 600, you think, oh my gosh, it must be the worst place ever. But what you don't consider is that the city has nearly 3 million residents.
Damn.
In reality, Chicago's rate of 17 per 100,000 is pretty standard for American cities. Chicago is not any worse than the average American city. Let me put the numbers in context. A very safe city will have a rate of 0 to 3. These are cities where violence is extremely uncommon. The vast majority of European and Asian cities stay within this range. Then a rate of 4 to 10 are moderately safe cities. Places like Seattle, San Francisco, and New York City stay within this range. Then we get to 11 to 20, and here is where things get serious. Chicago, Miami, and Jacksonville usually stay within this range. And next, from 21 to 30 is cause for serious concern. These are very dangerous. Cities like Houston, Oakland, and Las Vegas typically stay within this range. And from here, anything above 30 is a ridiculous level of violence. The type of place where any family should be trying their best to leave. However, to put this into context, these rates are nothing compared to Mexican cities. For example, in 2022, Tijuana had a rate of 140 per 100,000. I mentioned that to convey that there is a huge discrepancy between safe and unsafe. However, just because a city is safe doesn't mean that a specific neighborhood can't be dangerous. In fact, nearly every city you go to has a rough part of town. So with all that being said, let's dive into our final lists of 2022. We start off on a positive note, the 5 safest cities in the United States. These are cities where homicides are rare and families can feel safe letting their kids play outside. So if you're from one of these cities, you're probably not from the trenches. Number 1, Sunnyvale, California. With a population of 152,000, Sunnyvale recorded 0 homicides in 2022. The city is also one of the wealthiest in the country with an average income of $161,000. Number 2, Irvine, California. With a population of 309,000, the southern...
This is motherfuckers that, like, are rich as fuck, but don't want to live in LA because shit be going down.
California City recorded only 1 homicide in 2022.
Damn!
This resulted in a rate of 0.29 per 100,000. Number 3, San Jose, California. Despite having over 1 million residents, San Jose reported only 32 homicides in 2022. This gives it a rate of 3.2 per 100,000. And with this number, San Jose is by far the safest big city in America. So if you're looking for a safe place to move, well, you probably can't afford it. And next is another city you probably can't afford. Number 4, New York City. For some
New York City's the safest? What the
reason,
fuck?
and everyone thinks New York City is like Chicago. It's not at all, not even remotely close. In fact, New York City has been one of the safest cities in America for over a decade straight. In
That's because them laws.
2022, they had a total of 418 homicides. This results in a rate of 4.5 per 100,000. That's 5 times lower than Chicago and 8 times lower than Philadelphia.
Oh, I forgot about Philly. Philly being down. But nah, that's crazy. It's probably because the population's so crazy. Like, Manhattan, bro. What's Manhattan's population by itself? Like, I'm talking about downtown New York City, Manhattan. That shit probably holds crazy amount of people.
So I don't know where people came up with the notion that New York City is out of control, because it's simply not true. Number 5, Inglewood, California.
Inglewood.
For whatever reason, Inglewood has a rough reputation, but it's actually one of the safest cities in the entire country. In 2022, Inglewood saw a total of 5 homicides. This gives it a rate
5 homicides? I
of
thought
4.7 per 100,000.
They still like that. I'm just saying.
In all honesty, Inglewood is just a safe suburb, but it's plagued by a bad reputation. And for whatever reason, some residents want to make it seem worse than it is.
My part of Inglewood is murder capital, so it's different over there. People murdered there every night. That was my side. That was literally my next street. I still walk something up on the side.
Nah, they on his
Okay,
name.
now that we've covered the safest list, let's get into the most dangerous cities.
The fuck?
Number 10, Kansas City, Missouri. In 2022, Kansas City had 169 homicides, resulting in a rate of 34 per 100,000. This came in as the second worst year in Kansas City history. I literally don't know anything about this place, and you guys probably don't either, so let's skip along.
Chiefs.
Number 9, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
They only number 9? That's crazy.
Yeah. With 516 homicides, this gave Philadelphia a rate of 35 per 100,000. And as far as my research goes, Philadelphia has always been this bad. Both North and South Philly are known as 2 of the worst areas in the whole United States. Houses are run down, homeless are everywhere, and police are understaffed.
We're pulling some of our folks out of our administrative positions and going to deploy them out to some of those hotspot areas to focus on being visible.
What do you say to those who say they're unhappy about this move?
Well, listen, we're in a time that we've never seen before with having the amount of homicides that we've had in the city, the amount of shooting victims.
If you look at this interactive map, you can see that nowhere is safe. And because of this, Philadelphia has seen the largest exodus since 1975. Over 25,000 residents have left in 2022. And interestingly enough, the biggest city they're moving to is next on this list. Number 8, Atlanta, Georgia. In last year's episode, I made a joke that over 80% of crime is solved in Atlanta and that they must be snitching. Crazy how it turned out.
They had Boston Richie on there. That's crazy.
80% of crime is solved in Atlanta and that they must be snitching. Crazy how it turned out to be true. Well, yes, snitching is a common occurrence in Atlanta, but so is violence. In 2022, Atlanta saw a rate of 42.5 per 100,000. That is extremely
That's crazy for a big city
dangerous.
to be that.
Most people wouldn't expect this because of how nice it is, but my gosh is it bad. Regardless, the pros outweigh the cons. That's why it's still one of the fastest growing cities in America. Number 7, Milwaukee.
I fuck with Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's like on my list of like cities I'll move to. And I fuck with the Falcons too. But nah, I fuck with Atlanta. I never been to Atlanta, so I can't fuck with it, but you feel me? It look nice.
That's why it's still one of the fastest growing cities in America. Number 7, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another
Milwaukee.
Unexpected city, but for locals, they've watched their city spiral out of control. In 2022, their rate was at 43 per 100,000. Milwaukee's police force has depleted, and this has led to many problems. In fact, it birthed a trend
oh my god, the Kia
known
boys.
as the Kia boys. These are teenagers who have managed to hack Kias and steal them in under a minute. So in Milwaukee, there's a competition to steal Kias, drive them around, and dump them off for fun. So with all this
that's a crazy hobby to have.
the city has become
and you go Walmart. Let's go off the block and take a Kia
completely
real quick. That's
undesirable.
crazy, bro.
The only thing going for it is the cheap cost of living in the business-friendly state of Wisconsin. Other than that, stay away. Number 6, Detroit, Michigan. This is where the list gets serious. In 2022, Detroit had a rate of 50 per 100,000. And I know Detroit already has an awful reputation, so I don't want to make it worse. Despite the bad crime, Detroit is actually making a comeback. Investment is up and the downtown area is actually really nice. I may be delusional, but I think Detroit can be the Atlanta of the North. Number 5.
No, Detroit ain't bad.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, didn't I say young boy shit?
With a
Baton
rate of
Rouge.
51 per 100,000, Baton Rouge is not a place you want to mess around in. It's a small city where everyone knows everyone, and this makes it even worse. People are leaving this city and the whole state of Louisiana as well. Interestingly enough, it's the only southern state that's lost population in 2022. Literally every other state has gained thousands in population. They're coming from the east and west coast for the low taxes and low cost of living. However, for Louisiana,
yeah, St. Louis. What about Cleveland? Cleveland, maybe. Cleveland, St. Louis. Did they have Houston or Dallas? One of them gotta be in there. Someone in Texas someone gotta take that.
They lost nearly 4% of their population.
Hell yeah.
So I would highly advocate anyone to not move here, especially Baton Rouge. I've covered multiple rivalries in this city before, so if you want to see that, go check it out. Number 4, Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, Baltimore. Hell yeah, the wire and shit.
Rate of 58 per 100,000, Baltimore is a place to avoid at all costs. First,
if you ain't never watched The Wire, watch that. That's a good
because of their atrocious accents, but then because of the
nah, they accents is crazy,
to avoid at all costs. First, because of their atrocious accent. Number 4, Baltimore, Maryland. With a rate of 58 per 100,000, Baltimore is a place to avoid at all costs. First, because of their atrocious accents, but then because of the danger. Krishan Rock happens to be from Baltimore, and that's all I have to say. Yeah. On a serious note, the city is falling apart in front of our eyes. It's honestly the most depressing place you can go to, and if you don't believe me, go check it out. Sadly, this is another city that thousands of people have left in 2022. And that takes us to number 3, St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, there you go. 30 deep grimy.
2022. And that takes us to number 3, St. Louis, Missouri. By now, we all know about St. Louis. They've consistently been in the top 3 for over 20 years. Damn. And in 2022, they saw a typical rate of 65 per 100,000. St. Louis is really the bottom of the bottom. The weather sucks, there's no good jobs, and you have to watch your back everywhere you go. But on a positive note, it's not as bad as the small city across the river. East St. Louis would be number 1 on this list, but they don't qualify because of their population. Anyways, I've been trying to do a video on St. Louis for the longest, but no.
What the fuck is the next population?
Anyway.
Long live streets.
I've been trying to do a video on St. Louis for the longest, but nobody wants to share information. And that takes us to
the fuck? No one to share information.
But they don't qualify because of their population. Anyways, I've been trying to do a video on St. Louis for the longest, but nobody wants to share information.
Ain't no one saying
that takes us to number 2, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh shit.
Crescent City has a rate of 72 per 100,000 in 2022. New Orleans has 393,000 residents, but over 288 murders. In comparison, Los Angeles has 3.9 million residents and only
I thought they had like at least 1 million in there.
373 population. So with 10 times the population, Los Angeles barely had more than the tiny little city of New Orleans. How in the world is that possible? Like, what kind of issues can even lead to
boy
that.
Zion
The
living in
craziest
fear.
part is that over 60% of the crime occurs in one small area known as Eastern New Orleans. And what I found out is that no police officers want to work there. In fact, the New Orleans Police Department is sitting at under 50% of usual capacity. And because of this, it takes an average of 2.5 hours for police to respond to a call. No.
Yo, we making sure we get him. We doubling back. We tripling back. We're spinning the block. Yo, we making sure we get his ass.
Because of this, it takes
2.5 hours is crazy, bro.
It's an average of 2.5 hours for police to respond to a call. No, I didn't make that up. It takes them 2.5 hours to respond to any.
Yo, that is crazy, bro. What was that, 150 minutes? Like, bro, that's wild.
Call. No, I didn't make that up. It takes them 2.5 hours to.
Yo, so if someone was to get shot and you feel me didn't pass away, yo, it's faster to get your own car and take him to the hospital than call. Yo, 2.5 hours just laying there is wild, bro.
Respond to any call. Let me put this into perspective. In Seattle, the average response time is 7 minutes. And in Los Angeles, it's 20 minutes, which is bad enough. But 2.5 hours is a serious problem.
It's over.
It's a problem we started reporting on years ago with our call waiting investigation, and now it's getting worse than ever.
New data presented to the City Council today shows NOPD response times have tripled in the last 3 years as officers leave the force.
Yeah, Sam Winstrom has more on what the council is calling a public health crisis.
NOPD's response times have skyrocketed in the last 3 years, going from 51 minutes to 2.5 hours on average.
Yo, even being there for an hour is crazy.
In this month, it's taking nearly 3 hours for police to respond to a call. It's no surprise that as those times go up, the number of officers on the force has gone down.
So if you live in New Orleans, you should probably take protection into your own hands. And that takes us to the
What boxing gonna do?
In New Orleans, you should probably take protection into your own hands. And that takes
That
us
thing
to
on
the
you.
final number.
Bro, robbing a bank, you can walk out of there and do the speed limit and still get out of there.
Number one spot. This one you would have never expected. Number 1, Birmingham, Alabama.
What the fuck? Alabama?
Probably a place you forgot
I thought it'd be Mobile or some shit.
Frankly, I did too.
The fuck?
Well, somehow Birmingham ended with a rate of 73 per 100,000. That is insane. So I had to do some research. The per capita income of Birmingham is only $26,000 a year, and the average household income is only $39,000. This is a very poor city, but somehow the cost of living has increased by 21%, and this may be a big reason for the elevated levels of violence.
They
But
mad
honestly,
poor.
I don't know. So if you're from Alabama,
No wonder everybody killing each other. He's mad they ain't got nothing.
please let me know. I tried finding rappers in Birmingham, but I couldn't find any. Instead, I found out that Mobile, Alabama has a huge music scene.
Yeah,
But strangely
right,
enough,
low cap.
Mobile's rate is very low. So I guess that Birmingham is the trenches and Mobile is much nicer. I
Damn.
could be wrong, but numbers don't lie. That was the top 10 most dangerous cities of 2022. Do you guys live in any of these cities? If so, please let me know if you think this is accurate. Also, let us know what you think is the cause and how it can change. On that note,
Some motherfuckers is broke. That's the problem right there. Thought 40K was the average income. Nah, for the United States, nah, it can't be. You gotta be like 25K or less. Oh yeah, Memphis. I forgot about Memphis. I left Chicago for Atlanta. I can't wait to go back. For better or worse, the good areas of Chicago are separated from the high crime areas. It's like you live in 2 different cities. In Atlanta, I just feel somewhat unsafe anywhere, unless you're in the suburbs. What the fuck? He said, holy crap, we made it to number 1. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I was a drug addict really bad. I lived in Hills, one of the worst neighborhoods there. My next door neighbor was murdered with a screwdriver in December 2018. Literally last year, my rent went up from $100, but my apartment was absolutely crap. Basically, they're trying to build all this new stuff, but to build the new stuff, they demolished a lot of it. Yeah, they just started talking a lot. I'm not for like reading all that. Oh God, he was excited to be number 1. Who gonna tell him?